Welcome to Billion Dollar Marketing Secrets Over Coffee with Biz Coach Steve Feld. Biz Coach Steve interviews fellow successful business owners about the strategies they have used to grow their businesses, and in turn, you can use them to help you navigate your business towards success. Ready to learn strategies to grow your business with less stress and build a long-term sustainable business to exceed your personal and business financial goals to build the business of your dreams? Well, you have come to the right place. Please welcome Biz Coach Steve Feld.
Hello, fellow business owners, and welcome to another episode of Experts Over Coffee. I'm Biz Coach Steve Feld, and my goal is to stop business owners from suffering entrepreneurial depression and make running their businesses easier, more fun, highly profitable, so they can reach seven figures and beyond. Okay. Today, we have another wonderful guest. We have Arnaud Saint Paul. Now, he's a philanthropist, award-winning serial software, finance, and social impact entrepreneur for more than 20 years, living between Los Angeles and Paris. He went through his awakening when he was 13, while having a successful career in finance and technology across continents. He has been traveling throughout the world to study the different religions and philosophies in a relentless quest to understand himself. So his goal, his purpose, is now to open up billions of hearts and help them find harmony within and outside of themselves. Please welcome Arnaud.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's amazing to be here, Steve.
Well, thank you for being our guest. First question I always have to ask, because that was quite an introduction. It's like, how did you start your business? What was that moment that triggered that said, here is my new venture?
It's a great, it's when I realized why my life was the way it was before, and what all the different elements of the different experiences I've had professionally and personally brought me to that conclusion of this is what I need to do for the rest of my life. And it's not anymore a question, it is I do it or I do it. And it's the highest expression of what I can not only offer to myself but offer to the world at the same time, and provide the biggest impact I can have, right? So nowadays, what I believe is if I can help an entrepreneur, an executive, a group of people to really shift and learn to live through their heart, it allows humanity to grow so much faster. And that's my gift and my gift to myself at the same time. So yeah,
great. And we both know, we've talked about it many times. It's like shifting that your intention, if you will, to be more servient. It makes a big difference in your life.
Huge, yes. When we are entrepreneurs, more so, I believe your audience is about entrepreneurship. We are here because we believe in something. We have a vision, and that vision is obviously, to serve a certain community and to make a profit out of that. And sometimes we have a more purposeful purpose. Sorry for the repetition, going to more social impact. But the bottom line is, we are here to serve a community in whichever shape or form, right? So what if we push that further, and in order to grow our business, we actually grow ourselves? And that's a bit the proposition we're making here, where my presumption is that, or the assumption is that, when you grow yourself, you actually grow your business. And I'm not talking metaphorically here. It's actually happening that way. So, and there's a whole framework and process to do that. And it works. So why not? I think it's,
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that. It's the way I look at it when I'm working with a business owner. We're not just transforming their life, their business life and their personal life. We're saving marriages, but we're also growing the community and impacting the community, because small business is the backbone of the world. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Without small business owners, that's 96%, 97% of all businesses in the world. So you're impacting your community on a greater scale by hiring people, by donating and supporting local organizations, so many other ways. When someone comes to you, what is usually one of their biggest challenges or issues that you see that you can help them transform their lives or their business with?
But we have two types of people. One is people that are stuck in patterns, whether they are stuck in, for instance, they're trying to raise funds or getting 8 or 9-figure contracts, and it doesn't work. Whatever they try, it just doesn't work. Or thought patterns, right? We had discussions about negative self-talk, but where we continue thinking that this type of market is not for us, or etc. And there are simple ways to get out of that, to be able to gain an escape velocity out of the pattern that is locking us in a maze. And that's one of the benefit of the Heartful method, which is the one that I created for the past 30 years. So that's one type of people. The other type is entrepreneurs that have a vision, usually in innovation and technology, but it doesn't have to be limited to. And they really want to step up their game. So they don't necessarily have a challenge in front of them. I mean, they have the big challenge of the vision that needs to be manifested, but they want to be really at the top of their capacity, right? And so they're ready to step out of their comfort zone and go deep into the type of method we have, because we're really helping the entrepreneur to completely change everything he has learned about life, the universe, and everything is completely shifted. And with that, they start rolling and it starts blossoming really, really quickly. I was 3 days ago, I was working with a CEO, and the week before we had worked on a topic that was showing up in his life about integrity, right? This is an important aspect of entrepreneurship. And what he reported me back 3 days ago was that, and he attributed that work to what unfolded, was one, he closed the fundraising. Great, wonderful. That was already a process that was unfolding before. But more importantly, a 9-figure contract that was 10 times what he was usually being able to do showed up out of the blue and was from an improbable source. And they're most likely going to go close it. So we have an amazing power inside our hands, but we usually don't tap into it. And that's what I'm here to help people with if they want to.
Oh, that's fantastic. And how long does it usually take when someone starts working with you to see that transformation on average? I know everyone's different.
It starts, so the first process is 90 days. And from the very first week, people start to show results anyway. But in 90 days, you learn how to apply the process on your daily basis on your own without any additional intervention. Now, you can continue working with us if you want to, but it's not mandatory at all. This specific client has worked with us for 3 years. So he's already have a lot of experience and we've gone through a lot together. But the beauty of it is as we move forward, we go deeper and deeper and deeper, and we have stronger and stronger impact at all levels of their company. Now they are planning to work with sovereign funds, which is going to go higher up in the possibilities of what they can do. And so, it's really a gift that we can use on our own, right? So once you acquire the process, you can do it on your own, or you can be assisted by one of our coaches as well, or guides, the way I prefer to call them.
Nice. I don't know if it's possible. Could you share a technique that someone could use right away to help them make a little bit of a shift?
Sure, with pleasure. So we have several waves in our method. So within the 90 days, we explore the first two waves. Wave one is about basically the way the method works is that you want to identify issues that happen throughout your week, challenges at work, at home, doesn't really matter. And the first wave is about whenever we have an issue, and most of the time it is an issue because we're engaged with it, right? We're triggered by it. There is something that doesn't work and I feel bad about it, whatever is the reaction to it, the emotional reaction to it. So what if we would allow ourselves to get out of our autopilot mode for a second, push a pause button, a big red pause button, and then start the process. The process is the following. So whenever I have an issue, whether it's a difficult conversation with someone or a challenge at work, etc., I first embrace it. So in other words, I accept all that it is as it is. Bottom line is it's there. So why not accepting it as it is? And therefore, I'm providing myself with the space of accepting it and embracing it. So saying, okay, this is there for me to learn something, at the very least, about myself, about the others, etc. Let me do the best with it, right? Let me make the best out of it. So that's the first step. Then we can go into the next step, which is surrendering to it. That's trickier.
Yeah.
And we get into the servant aspect of it, where I'm surrendering to this situation, which felt very bad for whatever reason. That's okay. I have enough patience with myself to say, okay, that's okay. It's okay if I feel bad. And I surrender to it because for some reason this happened, and to help me grow in some way, shape, or form, which I do not know yet. So I surrender and I trust that situation, not necessarily the person in front of me, but that situation for some reason is going to help me do something that I wouldn't have thought before. Okay. Then we go into forgiveness and gratitude. So what if we let aside our ego for a little while, and we are able not only to forgive ourselves, the situation, the person in front of us, right? That because most likely is the case, and feeling some gratefulness for this situation, because again, it is an opportunity for me to learn and grow, at the very least. And even maybe I can go into compassion and love for that. And that's maybe more difficult to reach at first. But once I am already in forgiveness and gratitude, it's actually quite easier to get access to. Definitely not when I'm in the issue, of course. But remember, we push the pause button at first. So, so I have compassion and love for all that. And what that does is that all of a sudden we create a more harmonious outcome of that issue. So in other words, there is a higher probability for the issue to resolve itself faster. Even without knowing how, it doesn't really matter. Something will come up easier and more easier, yes, to provide some part of the solution at the very least. Or I will have an idea that brings me to a new angle that helps me to solve the issue. That's another option. And this type of issue does not need to repeat themselves anymore, because I don't know if you've noticed throughout your life, but sometimes, most of the time actually, we tend to repeat the same issues across different adventures, cycles. So whether it's with our partners or through companies, we tend to have exactly the same patterns showing up again and again. By going through this process, we actually help ourselves to lighten that load and therefore not have to go through it again. So the better we do it, the freer we are. And as an added benefit, you can go faster and faster through the same process, and therefore have a more an easier experience and more graceful experience, and therefore more harmony throughout your life.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because, yeah, I know many business owners that have owned multiple businesses, and they said, well, I made this mistake in this business, and then it happened in this one, and this one, and this one. It's
exactly.
Like, we hear it.
And the answer is always, always, always in oneself. That's the, at least that's what I live by, and that's what works for us and my CEOs. There's no outer impact. Nobody is, I mean, obviously when we are at the helm of our company, we take the decisions, we take responsibility for them. Yes. The proposition here, take more responsibility of your whole life, and you are going to have an amazing life out of that.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Just spoke to a business owner a couple months ago, and he was complaining about his 5th wife. And I'm going, wait, and it impacts his business every single time he gets married and divorced and everything else. And he's like, yeah, dramatically. And I'm like, you notice the common denominator in all these issues? And he couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, boy, we need to work together, because he would definitely be one of your great clients, because he doesn't even see that he's the problem.
Well, he might not want to work with us, though.
Yeah, I didn't take him on as a client because he refused to change, and I see why.
There you go. There you go.
You've been working on building your business. I mean, any business owner that said it's all been, unicorns dancing over rainbows in a glitter shower, BSing you. What are some of the challenges, failures that you've seen in growing your business?
All were mine. Sorry, I'm coming back to that. For some time, I was stuck in being able to see how I could bridge what I know, this content that is absolutely amazing and life-changing for so many people, and how to communicate it to more people that wouldn't be necessarily as educated as the current one I have, or even same education, but not necessarily the same backgrounds. So how I had a difficulty to create an emotional bridge between this framework and the serving people with that content. And it was all in me, and I had to go through a lot of different processes to help me reconnect and rekindle with that aspect of me that nowadays I'm thankful that we are able to start being able to push that forward. And so that was one huge challenge, completely much more than the usual marketing stuff or the lack of capital, whatever, because this is completely secondary. Now, obviously, out of that, as a business owner, one wants to market it to the masses and get access to millions and millions of people, but one has to start with little and then grow, right? And find the right path where, from a marketing standpoint, and seeing how that can work out. But I mean, from my standpoint, the biggest work I've done in the past year has been to figure out my inner path to that reality, and therefore showed up in my reality all the tools at the right time, or all the right people as well, once I was ready to allow that communication to happen, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you brought up a great point. It's like when people are growing their business, it's like you got to make sure you have the right people on your bus, if you will. But you need to be in alignment with you and your intention and everything else. That will actually attract the right people as well.
So I tend to, one of the things in my framework is more about alignment than attraction. Why? Because it's easier. So we have so it's all about matching vibrations. It's all about alignment, coherence, harmony. And so if I switch a little thing that allows me to shift my energy and be more aligned with, in my case, emotional communication, then all of a sudden, poof, everything starts to unfold in that direction. And the right people shows up, and the right book shows up, and so on and so forth. So yeah, completely.
What would be maybe one thing you would tell a business owner, a leader, to focus on right now to, be centered and go with intention?
Wow, that's a lot of questions.
That's a big one. They're a big matzo ball at you.
Well, I guess to an entrepreneur, I would say that, as I was mentioning earlier, to grow your success, you want to grow yourself or yourself. And the reason I say that is that we believe as entrepreneurs that we're going after, this market and that client, and we're going to talk with them, and they're going to be convinced and they want to purchase from us, et cetera, et cetera. All the beautiful things that we do in our daily life. Yes, it is that. And more importantly, all this is a set of mirrors of ourselves. And yes, we're going after a market. And yes, at the same time, and actually at the source of that action to go after a market is me, what I believe in, wanting to be accepted by others and received and appreciated from a money standpoint in that case. So there's a very, very clear relationship between one and the other. And it's not the market that defines us, it's us that defines the market. Just to take that example, obviously. So, and that's what the Heartful Method is about, which is to help you completely rewire your understanding of your relationship with yourself and reality. So let's focus on grow ourselves, because you'll always have success with that, no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Now, how can people get in touch with you if they say, hey, listen, I need you to help me in my life?
Me. So, yeah, we help, groups of entrepreneurs. We have cruises on the Nile, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And we have one early February if someone wants to join, and guidances, different guidances. We can find us. I think you have my website on your podcast at the bottom of it, on the text aspect, and then there's the contact info as well, and then the different networks, LinkedIn and whatnot. You can find us there as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I will have all your contact information in the show notes. But a cruise, talk about getting hyper focused, because you can't run anywhere.
You can't. You can't. Well, you can run in the temples, but there are a few crocodiles around, so you don't want to. It's a desert anyway. But yeah, and it's actually it's life-changing. We did one last May with 40 change makers, and they were really completely, it's finding coherence. In this case, was one company. So the whole purpose there was to help all the teams to align together, to get into more coherence. It was the results were mind-boggling.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I really love that concept of being just that hyper-focused, those kind of like cruises, retreats. It's amazing the transformation that goes on, because everyone gets so hyper-focused. You don't have anyone calling, no Zoom, no none of that going on.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you, Steve.
Today. Thank you for sharing your expertise and your knowledge, and really, contributing to the business owners, the leaders that need that extra piece in their life to be really true to themselves and their intentions, because it is definitely needed.
Yeah, I believe so. And more so this way we can all grow and be more successful and have more impact in the lives of people we care for. So I think
absolutely. It just changes the people's lives in so many different ways, not just business.
No.
Well, thanks again. And
Thank
Arnaud,
you.
and if you like Arnaud and other experts on this show, please make sure you give us a positive review. Arnaud and I love to hear how great we're doing and things we can work on. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and this episode. I'm Biz Coach Steve Feld, wishing you and your business much success.
We hope you liked today's guest on $1 billion marketing secrets over coffee. If you'd like to see how much hidden revenue we can uncover for you, well, click on the link in the show notes to speak with Steve. Mention the podcast when you book the meeting. You will receive a special gift. Make sure to like this episode and subscribe to this podcast to hear other great proven business leaders share their strategies to help you grow your business.